Hey there. Welcome to your Brilliance Unleashed. My name is Nikon, and I'm here with my co host, my friend, my colleague, my mentor, my coach, Wyn Morgan. And in this video, we wanted to tell you a little bit about our leadership immersion, perhaps to give you more insight on what can you expect and to see if this is something you might be interested in. So for me, I reckon some of the questions that people have been asking me, especially clients who are leaders or CEOs or leaders of communities, they've been asking me questions like, how do I grow to the next level? How do I maximize my leadership potential? And I've reflected on myself on answering those questions. And I remember when I would try to approach that question from a very intellectual place, or if I just have the right routine, if I have the right mindset, if I could just upgrade these skills, and then I should achieve this better leadership, this maximized leadership potential. And I don't know about you, but often for me, those things often fell short. It might have worked a little bit in the beginning, but it was never sustainable. And it wasn't until I came across the inside out understanding where I learned the source of where success comes from, the source of innate brilliance comes from. And for myself, when I learned to align with that, wow, things just felt more clear. And for me, when things are more clear, they're more easy. It would allow me to slow down within myself, which allowed me to just when I slow down, I have a much clearer vision of things, which allow challenges or opportunities to be seen at a much higher level of consciousness than before. And as a result, I did experience a lot more success. And I'm going to hand this over to Win so he can share what he sees about this.
Well, thanks, Nikon. That was a lovely introduction. In my words for it, what I didn't know until, I don't know, 12 years ago, so I was well into my middle age at this point, that I had this innate brilliance, as you just suggested, that was always there, but it would easily be hidden. And it would easily be hidden by things that looked to me as if they were relevant. Things that looked to me as if they were noteworthy that I should be paying attention to. And in fact, all it was noise. Noise in my head about the way I am, the way things need to be. And what I didn't know is the more I paid attention to that noise and those distractions, the less I was tapping into the brilliance that I had that I hadn't even realized. And so what we're going to share with you is a way that the mind works that's impacted both for myself and Nikon, what it's done, and for literally thousands of other people, um, in the way that that's unleashed their potential and their brilliance in a way that is far more enjoyable, happy, a less burdened mind to be able to do more and feeling like you're putting less in.
Thanks, Win. So, for those of you who don't know who Win and I are, I thought it would be a good idea for the both of us to share a little bit about ourselves. So, for me, my name is Nikon Gormley. I'm based in Bangkok, Thailand. I am a transformative coach. I am a business owner. I am a host of a national public radio show under the Ministry of Education. I would say for the past 9 years, I've been working as a professional coach, and I've had the great opportunity to work with a lot of leaders and organizations and helping their teams to transform themselves so they could be more productive. They would experience drop in error rates, lower turnover of talent, and I would say an increased level of creativity and innovation, which interestingly enough, when led to more business and revenue. And all this came from pointing people to see their own innate brilliance. They knew the source to go to of where to, I would say, get the good stuff. And another way to say it would be they learned to see more clearly what to do when they didn't know what to do, or how to become more resilient to uncomfortable feelings, how to navigate uncertainty and ambiguity. And just that, I've seen the clients I've worked for really transform their businesses. Um, and it's been such a joy and pleasure. And I'm so grateful that I get to host this workshop in my home country of Thailand. Over to you, Win.
Where do I start? So I worked for multinationals for quite a few years in my 20s. And while I was doing that and progressing quite well and fast, I went on training courses and I was looking at the people running the training course and I'm like, that looks like fun. So I first had that thought 30 years ago now. And for the last 25 years, my job has been developing people in organizations and quite a few privately as well, but predominantly in organizations. So since 1999. And for those first 2 years, it was with a multinational company that was the head of their training division. And then in 2001, so 23 years ago now, I then became a supplier of training and coaching to organizations. And in that time, I've been blessed to work with some phenomenal companies and people in every continent in the world, including many, many times in Southeast Asia. And I think this might be my, I don't know, 11th or 12th time in Thailand, and it's always been a joy. And I'd echo what you said. I mean, the one thing I always prided myself on was providing amazing return on investment from the training and coaching investment that organizations and individuals gave. And that was typically anywhere between 8 and 30 times profit return on investment within 12 weeks, which, made me realize how impactful my work was. And then for the last 12 years, that's been exponential. And the reason that return's been exponential, that the work that I do and Nikon that you do as well, is going deeper into a way that really does cut away all the things that human beings have in their way. And lots of those ideas are things that look like they are good ideas, but end up actually being more noisy. And therefore, people are an awful lot more free to be present to the task at hand, to be present to relationships that need to be developed. And they are far more, as you said, innovative, creative, brilliant problem solvers with solutions that are beyond what they thought possible before. So that's what I make my life about now. And I never realized how enjoyable it could be as it's becoming more and more as the years go by.
Thanks for that, Win. All right, now, Win, I want to talk about what's on offer for the people coming. What are some of the benefits they can hope to experience? And I'll go first. When we came up with this idea, one of the things I wanted people to benefit from was experiencing their brilliance, not just learning about it or like not just like a theoretical kind of what's your potential like, but I wanted people to experience being in their potential, being in their brilliance, and watching how their challenges look different, watching how their opportunities look different. And it's really, to me, I guess the best way to know how to describe it is the feeling of looking at your life, your work, your career from a more settled place within yourself, from a more quiet mind. And that doesn't mean you're not doing anything, but it's a much higher level of consciousness of looking at what you're doing. And to me, that's probably the biggest benefit I see, because from that place, from a higher level of perspective, at least for me, you're more clear in what you're up to. You know that saying, direction is more important than speed. And to me, this is the ultimate getting clear on the direction of what you're up to. I'm trying to think of other benefits. Like apart from that, I guess it would be meeting like-minded individuals who also are up to similar things. Um, for me, the biggest thing, the takeaway I would love for people to experience is they'll know where to look when they don't know what to do in their work and their challenges and their opportunities. Because after this immersion, they'll know better. And that would be for me the biggest benefit or what's on offer. How about you, Win? What do you make of that?
Great. Sign me up. I'm glad I'm going to be there anyway. But in more, and the way of looking at it, if I was to look at some of the more tangible benefits that people will get, and look, some of these are not so tangible, but anyone who struggles with something called imposter syndrome, thinking like I don't belong or I'm not good enough, you'll understand that and no longer have that being relevant. Clarity will become far more common. Overthinking will be less common. You enjoy your work more while having a deeper sense of purpose and a lot less on it. And what I mean by that is your mind will not be so tight and ingrained in things. It will be far more relaxed mentally. And I was talking with a client last week, and they said that they'd learned something from the Navy SEALs, which was go slow to go fast, which I think is a really nice way of succinctly, very easily putting it into place what is on offer, what the benefits would be for you. And one thing I would say is business results will be easier to attain and be higher. Your relationships will be stronger without it feeling like a burden. And while, of course, this is going to be focused on you as a leader, it will also be playing out in every single aspect of your life, in work and outside of it.
Thanks, Win. All right, now, guys, I want to talk about what are the contents and some of the topics we're going to talk about during immersion. And I'm actually going to read it because these are really great. We're going to discuss the nature of human performance. We're going to shine a light on what can hold us back. We're going to break some of the myths we have about ourselves. We're going to have a deep sense of what it feels like to be at our best. And lastly, we're going to share our insights over the past 2 days, and the impact of those insights will make a long lasting change in our lives. Win, I would love for Win if you could tell us a little bit more about what those things mean.
To me, what those things mean are those are the things that we'll be talking about, not necessarily in that order, but all of those things we will cover, or you will cover in your own mind. And maybe some of those we'll be discussing more explicitly than others. However, all of those things we will be covered. So, as an example, what you what our job is for you to really understand the nature of the human mind, your mind as well as everyone else's, that in the way it works takes care of all the heavy lifting. So all the things that look like they need an awful lot of mental analysis, that they need more thinking about, you'll see that maybe that's not the case. And in the time we have together, what we'll be doing is looking at the truth of things as opposed to the ideas of things. And the reason that matters is the truth of things is where life-changing insights occur. So, for example, I didn't know that I didn't have to pay attention to an awful lot of the thoughts and feelings I had. I didn't know that overwhelm was me making something up in my mind of me needing to do 25 things all at once at 9:01 on a Monday morning. I didn't know that that was a trick of the mind. It felt really real to me. And as a result of me doing what we're all going to do together over these 2 days, I was able to see the truth of things, which is my mind makes stuff up. And some of the stuff it makes up is brilliant. Some of the stuff it makes up isn't helpful. And it's been really great to determine which are the ones that are helpful and which are the ones that aren't.
Thank you, Win, again for the clarity. I'm so grateful I'm hosting this workshop with you. I am so genuinely excited about the magic we're going to create and make space for. So lastly, if you've been watching this and you feel, and this calls to you, or you feel like this is the the right thing for you, I encourage you to sign up. The details are below or in the description of this video. And me and Win are so excited to meet you and to dive in with you. Win, do you have any last comments or words or thoughts?
The only thing that crossed my mind is it'll be Nikon and my job to make sure that this is the best decision that you've had in years. And we'll be all in on you having this being literally a life-changing experience. And club, see you soon.
All right, bye.